Linking your footer pages. All right, what we need to do now is link to our footer pages from the footer area of the other pages that we've created with the NPC software, like our opt-in page and other pages. So here are instructions. If you're an affiliate, then you just need to do this for your opt-in page. If you're a vendor, then you need to do this for your opt-in page and your sales page. So let's pull our browser over here, and you can see I'm logged into my Niche Profit Classroom account, and I'm on the dashboard. So my site dashboard, and let's scroll down a little bit, and I want to do this for my website betafishlovers.com. Scroll down a little bit here. Now let's start with the opt-in page. I'm going to go to edit, and you should be on the final touches tab at this stage. So if you're not, make sure to save all your changes from step 1 and move to step 2, final touches. So we're on step 2, final touches, and you recall that we created some placeholder links earlier on, and what we're going to do now is swap those out with real links. So let's go up and head to header footer, and then on this default just click the drop down, and you can see what we have here. Now go ahead, and it's going to be easier if you take all of this and copy it into a notepad file. You can work with it much more easily. You're going to actually be modifying HTML code. Now don't be intimidated by that. I know it sounds crazy, but if you just follow along exactly, I'll show you how to do this easily, and there's no reason to be worried or intimidated by it at all. So first off, if you have brackets still around your domain, go ahead and remove those. You don't need those brackets. Get rid of those. And then you can see how this works. Basically, what we're looking at here is we put in 2 placeholder links. And this right here, from this opening A to this closing A, this constitutes the code that creates the link. And then there's a vertical character between the next one. Here's the next link. So just like that. This is the text, what's called anchor text. And then this right here is the URL that you're pointing to with that link. So we have 4 pages that we need to link to from our footer. We have our privacy policy. Actually, we'll add a link to home as well. We're going to have a home link. We're going to have about us, privacy policy, terms, and contact us. Now you'll recall that we created these 4 pages earlier on in this module over with the site builder. We created these pages, and so now we're effectively linking to these pages. Now we haven't gone live on the internet yet, or with our website and all of our pages. We're setting the foundation. We're getting everything linked together now properly, so that when we do go live, everything works as it should. So what we'll do here now, you'll recall that for our About Us page, we called that, you need to recall the links that you actually used. You remember that for our About Us page, we called it about-us.html. Remember that? And if you need a refresher, if you go up to my site's site dashboard, we go to our site builder for Beta Fish Lovers. Let's launch that and take a look at, say, our About Us page. And go to page settings. You'll recall this is what I'm talking about, the page URL. We called this about-us.html. For contact us, we called this contact-us.html. For privacy policy, we called it privacy. We called it privacy-policy. And then for terms, I think we just called it terms. So let's write those things down. We called this privacy policy, HTML. We called the other one contact us. Now, we call this terms.html. We call this one contact us.html. And then home is just the URL of your home page, which in my case is betafishlovers.com. So let's close the site builder now that we have that information, and head back into the opt-in page creator. I can also just go here to Beta Fish Lovers, click on my opt-in page, edit, and now head back into my header footer section. Okay, and I've already pulled out the code, so it's over here, I believe. Yep, let's open that, and let's open this. And now what you want to do is add to the front of each link, go ahead and add your domain name. And you can just copy it from here if you want. So copy, and we'll put it right there, and then put a /. copy it right there, / copy right there, / like that. Now you have your links and you have your anchor text over here. So now we can put everything into our notepad file as we need it to be. So what we'll do first is we'll take one of these, just copy from over here the opening A basically to the end of the closing A. Put your cursor right there, right after the links right there, and then we'll paste in 2 more. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here we have 2. So let's paste in 3 more. 1, enter 2, enter 3. And then you can put your links on each line if you want to just make it cleaner. You can't corrupt this code. I mean, as long as you're doing as I'm showing you, you can't corrupt it. So let's put a space after this and put a vertical bar. And that vertical bar is just under your backspace key. You just have to hold down Shift and then click it. So space, 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 and that should be it. Just add a space and then a vertical bar after each link, just like that. And we don't need one after the last link. But let's also add a space after the bar. So just on your keyboard, hit the space key, space key, space key. That's creating a space after each one. And now you can put your actual URLs in. So starting with About Us, let's take just the About Us part. You could take the whole thing and just copy it over. And we're actually running out of space here, so we'll copy the whole thing over and just replace the URL that's there. And then go to the next one. We'll take our whole privacy policy and replace the URL that's there. And then we'll take our entire terms and replace the one that's there. And then our entire contact us and replace the one that's there. And now we can replace the anchor text for each one. Okay, this top one we're just going to call home, because that links straight to our home page. This next one we'll call About Us, because it links to our About Us page. This next one we'll call Privacy Policy. And this next one we'll call Terms. And the final one, of course, we'll call Contact Us. Okay, we have everything now. I don't think I made any mistakes. If I did, we'll go back and correct them. Take the whole code now, go back, go to your default here. I'm in header footer on my opt-in page, and I'm going to just replace everything there with what I just created. So I'm going to hit Control A on my keyboard to highlight everything, or you could just drag your cursor and delete everything, and then paste in what we have. Okay, and then I'm going to put that back up, save, go back to my editor and see how this looks. All right, almost there, but not perfect. We have everything there, except there's not a space between the M and the H. That doesn't look very good. So let's go back and let's put a space in there. Let's see how can we do that. Let's go back, and what I'll do is I'll just add a space right here and see if that works. So it's right after the M. I'll just put a space on my keyboard, save that, go back to the editor, and it looks like that worked. So that's it. Now what you want to do, if you're an affiliate, by the way, you're done. You only need to do that for your opt-in page. It's good to have those things there. Now if you're a vendor, you'll also need to add this footer to your sales page as well. Now you have all the code, so you just need to drop it in. So keep your notepad file open here, and I'm going to add a space after that M, just so it's there. And now head over to your sales page. So head back to your dashboard, and then go to the site you're working on, open up your sales page, Beta Fish Lovers SL, and then from here, it looks like I'm still in step 2, the wizard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that header image, save that, and move on to step 3. Now, by the way, I don't need to move on to step 3. If you're still in step 2 for whatever reason, you can modify your footer from here, and it's actually much easier. If you go down and just click on this section right here that's in brackets, you can modify everything from here. You can add links, you can remove links, and it's just a matter of putting the anchor text and the URL in here instead of doing it like we were doing it before. So that's an option. Or we can do it like we were doing it before. So let's go ahead and proceed to step 3. And we'll just do it from over here. So we'll wait for this to load. Then we'll go to header footer. And then we'll go expand our footer and then pull up the notepad file that has everything in it. Copy the whole thing, paste it into here, and then click up, save, return to editor, and you'll see that the links have been placed properly in your footer. So that's it for now. Again, if you're a vendor, you want to do this for your opt-in page and sales page. If you're an affiliate, again, just do it for your opt-in page. Okay, so we've completed this video. I'll go ahead and end this, and I'll see you in the next one.